Hello everybody. Allie here. Today we're going to be having some fun with some new Catherine Pooler stuff. This is the beautiful Winter Blessing Sentiments. This font is stunning. We're going to use this on our card today, but first we're going to make our own plaid. This was a request from a Stamp Nation member, so I thought I would share it with you and show you how I make mine. Okay, so I have a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of Catherine's premium white cardstock. It's my favorite for using with Catherine's inks. It's like butter, and it just creates a awesome palette to create on. Okay, so I have a variety of strips of low tack paper, and I'm going to use these ones, and I'm going to use my grid paper, and this is why I have my grid paper down. It helps me with positioning. It keeps everything on the same angle, all that good stuff. So we're going to start by just masking off about 1/8 of an inch off of all the sides of my paper. And again, I'm just using my grid paper to help me position that. And I'll do one at the top here. This is just grid paper that you could, or graph paper that you could buy from, Walmart. It doesn't have to be fabulous, but it just is so very helpful. Okay, so for this one, I am going to create only on kind of this upper 2/3, but I want it to have an angle. So now if I made this piece a little bit longer, it would be a little easier. But using my grid paper, let's grab a pencil here. The best thing to do is to just pick one random and then count up however many equal squares. So I'm going to take 1 inch. Whoops. So every 4 lines, I'm just going to put a line. It makes it easier by eye. And then you're going to do it on the same line on the opposite side. Whoops. Apparently I can't count today. And there we go. Okay. So it just means that if I'm working on these 2 lines here, and I want to use this line, and I can see it through my paper, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to take it up, let's say 3. No, I'm going to do 4. I'm going to do 1 inch. Okay, so I'm also going to take, because I want to cover the bottom of my piece of paper, because I don't want the plaid all the way down the card. I just want it on this kind of shape at the top. Okay. Excuse me, I have a tickle. Now we're going to take our strips here. These are a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch, and I just have a variety of them to create my plaid. Oh, hello. Do you think I'm talking to you? Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so this is where you have to start from one end and go to the other, because it just makes for spacing a lot easier. So I'm going to go at the same angle as my one below. I'm going to go, let's see, what do I want here? I believe that is not quite the same. Hang on. Let's fix this here. That's my Tico. Oh, goodness, Allison. Pick. Okay. Then I'm going to take a 1/4 inch fella. And I'm going to go up 3 blocks. going to go back to my thicker one. And I'm going to go... This is where you could actually just pick random with, see how everything's a little bit different? Let's go back down here and put a little fella in. I'm actually going to do that. We're just going to do a random plaid. So some are going to be thick voids, some are going to be thin voids, but everything's going to be on that same angle. Okay, and then we're going to go opposite. So we're going to start, let's start up at the top here. Pick our angle. Just trying to use my okay. Now if you don't have graph paper, what you can do is use a strip as your baseline. And so if you butt this one up next to this one and then put your next one lined up, you can always have that same space. So if you wanted a space that was 1/4 inch, you could use this width in between, and then you just take them off. So this is going to be a very interesting plaid per se, because it's just going to be at random. Yep, we're just going weird today. And you know what, I am going to need just a little bit, another piece there, so I'm just going to rip off the end. Excuse me. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to start with, we're going to do kind of an ombre blend. So I'm going to start with Coral Cabana. I'm going to ink up my tool. I don't have a CP blending brush for this color, so that's why I'm starting with Coral Cabana. I think I want darkest at the top, lightest at the bottom, so we're going to start at the bottom. We're just going to blend right over that Post-it note tape. Now this Post-it note tape actually started as a 2-inch wide strip, and I just used my trimmer to cut it down. So you can customize your strips. Let's go for a little bit deeper. Let's go Samba. I think this is my favorite red ink. And we're going to go kind of at the top of that Coral Cabana. And I'm okay if it goes all the way to the top, because we're going to then take a purple. Yes, a purple. And ink the top. So yes, I will put a really light inking of that Samba at the top. There we go. If you want a little bit heavier ink application, you can go and use like your sponge ink daubers like this with your sponges, and because your sponge will pick up a little bit more ink than a blending brush. So if you want to concentrate your ink right away without like really having to work it, then use that tool over a blending brush. I mean, they both work beautifully, but if you're looking for some good coverage right off the bat, use your sponge tool instead. Okay, now we can always come back and add. So there's our Samba. Let's go in with our Flirty Fuchsia. Yes, I said Flirty Fuchsia. Let's give this a whirl. Can't wait to see what this color looks like blended with that Samba. I think it's gonna look awesome. so let's go back to the Samba again. And just see if we can get it a little bit richer. And let's go to the Coral Cabana. Now I'm going to use the same blending brush, but I'm going to take it down here and see if I can get rid of some of the ink. And then I have specific fiber cloths that I use for cleaning my brushes, and of course red is one of those colors, so they work really well though. Okay, that looks good. Just see if we can add a little bit more Coral Cabana in here. Okay, all right. Hang on 1 second here. Okay, so let's do a little reveal, and this is where you can get experiment. Okay. Ooh. Ah. Okay, so I'm going to take off every other one. And we're going to blend again. Yes, again. So very, very light application, keeping that color kind of gradient the same. Okay, there is our Coral Cabana. Get our Samba in. Probably should re-ink this fella. I think that's part of my problem. And then our Flirty Fuchsia. So again, I just want a light hand because I still want to maintain the integrity of those lines. Okay. So let's get experimentative here and take off the other direction, seeing if we can kind of keep some of these other cross pieces in place here. Gonna have to lift up and let some things go by. Ha ha ha. Okay, let's see if we can get this fella. Okay, there. By keeping one end of kind of flat, then you can pretty much put them back where they came from. So again, I'm going to do another light inking, even lighter this time. Just going to put a tinge, kind of an undercoat up to the top there of that Samba, and then we'll come in with our beautiful Flirty Fuchsia, one of my favorite purples. Okay, there, I'm happy with that. Now, the reveal. I keep these pieces for holding my dies down, because why waste them, right? I'm just doing my cross pieces first. I think that's everything. Let's, you know what, I am going to do just a tiny hint along the edges, because right now everything is white on that border. So if I have just a hint of color coming in from that side, it's going to define that edge. So just a very, very, very light brushing. Actually, we'll go Coral Cabana first just because it's lighter. Start with my lightest one. Just a super, super light. And you know what? Probably don't even have to do this Ombre. There. Okay, that should define our edges of that complete plaid panel. Okay, let's really reveal this here. Woohoo. And be careful, you don't want to put inky fingers on that white paper. Right. I adhered it to the paper just so it wouldn't move. Oh my god, I love it. Look at that. How cool is that? So different, right? Yeah, totally what I was looking for. Okay, let's pull in our mini Misty here because we're going to do some stamping right over tap. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we're going to do Winter Blessings because it's just perfect. And I'm going to overlap it with our plaid. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to use our Flirty Fuchsia just because it's not in the Flirty Fuchsia area. I got so many things here, guys. Okay. Inking this puppy up. I love this font. Love it, love it, love it. Ooh, gorgeous. I love it. Okay. Open. Okay. Now, I want to put a few of the really pretty snowflake images from this same stamp set kind of intermittently all over our plaid here. Now, I do have a little fleck in my paper and I want to disguise that. I'm going to put a snowflake right over top of it, right? Because why not? All right, so we'll put on some of our fabulous snowflakes. And I just want to kind of cluster them a little bit here. So I'm making like a triangle, okay? All right, and again, I'm going to use that Flirty Fuchsia. Make sure I'm a little bit closer here because my stamps are brand spanking new. This is the first time I've used them. They just came to me yesterday. Just stamp that just one more time. Should have taken the tape off the back of this. Oh well. And I'm calling that done. So isn't that spectacular? So simple. You really could kind of line things up and do a whole series of these. That would be really cool. And you could probably peel them back and forth. So you could get more of the crisscross lines in those whiter areas. But I think as an end result, I think that's really cool. But so you can truly experiment with the supplies that you have and make something that almost looks woven. Thanks for joining me. I hope I've inspired you to create for today. Thanks guys. Have a great day.